Thanks for joining us for this Behind the Headline special on council cuts affecting the homeless and organisations that work with them. One of these is the Salford-based Positive Lifestyles, a non-profit making charity. But its supported living centre for single men, Lancaster House, is under threat of closure because of budget cuts by the Labour-run council. On August the 1st, Salford Council will make a decision on whether to slash funding for Lancaster House, which provides temporary accommodation for homeless single men. This would save the council £238,000. However, 2 weeks ago, at 3 events at Salford Quays, the council spent over £370,000 on welcoming the BBC to Salford. Salford City Councillor Peter Connor has already made clear he is in broad support of the closure of Lancaster House. The residents and staff of Lancaster House stand side by side in the fight to keep the supported living centre open for homeless men. David Orman, chairman of the Lancaster House peer group and service user, has ensured that the threat of Salford City Council closing Lancaster House has hit the headlines with interviews in the press, radio and television. David has also utilised social media, gaining widespread public support for the campaign. Staff at Lancaster House Supported Living Centre explain more about their work and fears for residents if the cuts come into force.
So how many people have you been able to help and support?
Over the last 10 years, approximately about 2,500 people.
We've been able to help and resettle into the community.
And does that tend to happen quite quickly in comparison to other schemes?
Yes, it does happen quite quickly.
Yeah,
it's usually approximately a 3-month turnover.
About 2.5 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
They're usually
resettled
and resettled.
What changes do you see in former rough sleepers after they come to Lancaster House?
The changes that I've seen in former rough sleepers is, well, the immediate homelessness is taken away from them as soon as they're here. So then they can begin to, we can begin to help them and support them in resettlement and training, maybe put them onto some job training. And they can think a lot clearer because obviously they've not got the threatening aspect of being homeless.
So what will happen to residents if the council forces the closure of Lancaster House?
Well, the council did say that everybody will be assessed individually, for their needs. But at the end of the day, if there's 38 homeless men here now and the council can't help them, the staff have to, then what's to say come September if Lancaster House closes that they're going to be rehoused? And I mean, at the end of the day, they shouldn't have to go in another hostel.
No.
You know, they've come here to be resettled, and that's what it is, a resettlement centre.
Yeah.
So the future of the 38 men is really uncertain.
Plus the fact it's distress that they don't need. You know, they've already got a lot of things going on in their life, and this just is not helping. And to be put into another hostel would be really detrimental to them. They have to go through all the same procedure again, and it's just too much. If Lancaster House closes by August, I would imagine there would be a lot of people on the street homeless.
The council planned to close 76 homeless bed spaces and replace it with just 20 beds at a new Salvation Army hostel. However, this clearly does not provide enough beds, and with only just a week until the council's decision, the Salvation Army 20-bed hostel is not yet even built. Following early morning briefings and meetings at Lancaster House, the staff and residents have had widespread public support to stop the closure, with over 2,500 signatures added to their petition on the local streets around Salford, surrounding areas and Manchester city centre. The question remains, will Salford City Council stop and listen to the voice of the local people? And homeless people in Manchester with no fixed abode also signed the petition, and there's not even the places in any hostels at the moment for them. Salford City Council have ignored requests to sit down and discuss issues brought out in the press release from Lancaster House. Key points from the Lancaster House press release include that the project and other positive lifestyle schemes deliver to Salford services a saving of £7.6 million per annum, that the council plans to close 76 bed spaces and the proposed new replacement has only 20 beds and is not even built yet. The Salford City Council encouraged Lancaster House landlords to spend over £250,000 in the project to produce a state-of-the-art support service, which they have done on the understanding that new contracts would be issued in October. Councillor Peter Connor and Salford City Council ignored requests for an interview for this programme, and as the Salford-based Lancaster House gain over 8,000 signatures in their online petition, the question remains, how long can the council bury their heads and not listen or respond to the people?
Lancaster House at the moment means everything to me. It's the only place that I can call home at the moment. It's the closest thing I've got to family. It's every part of my life at the moment. The key message to Salford Council Connor at the moment is simple. You've seen the facts, you've seen the figures, you've heard us all talk. We've tried to get around the table with you and have a proper discussion, and that's just simply not happened. The people of Salford, the people of the North West and the UK are all behind Lancaster House staying open. Everyone sees it as a vital service, especially in these troubling economic times. How a councillor who is elected to represent the people will not help the people, will not fulfil the people's wishes, is a travesty, not just to the people of Lancaster House and the people who elected them in. It's a travesty to democracy as we know it.
And so the fight continues by both staff and residents to keep Lancaster House open for single homeless men beyond August the 1st.